Hey Bitcoin universe, how's it going out there guys? Well, today's an exciting day. We've got an Antminer S9 in the house we're going to do an unboxing on, brought to you from the Bitcoin miner. And let's see, we've also got an EVGA 1600 power supply. We'll be doing a couple of videos how to hook it up and a quick review of the Antminer S9. So I'm going to pause it now and open the box. Well, this is what we get to start seeing here. We've got a nice little letter, a lot more than I think what we used to get before. It tells us about RMA and our warranty and so forth. Nice. It actually goes in and tells you a little more about it. This is very nice. Alright, let's set that to the side, look and see what we've got in the box. Alright, we got nice packing and everything else. Alright, we'll pause the video again and pull this out. Alright, so it's a pretty standard boxing they did with the S7s. It looks like the exact same casing so far. The board looks a bit bigger, but we'll go a little bit further. Alright, let me get this thing out of the wrapping and we'll go from there. Well, it looks almost identical to the Antminer S7 so far. It might be a little bigger, but I'm almost sure it's the identical size. Except we've got a little different here with the top. We've got now an SD slot. Your restart button, Ethernet. Yeah, it looks almost identical. It's kind of interesting how they spliced the wires here for the fan. Well, here we go guys, this is the Antminer S9. One thing I'll say right now is it's quiet. It's not plugged in yet. So guys, well, let me start the process of showing you how to hook this up. We're going to use an EVGA 1600 T2. I did a video earlier explaining why I prefer this power supply over some of the other ones. Key one being is the over voltage protection. Basically you don't need to get a surge protector. It's basically built into the device. So now what we're going to do is I've got all the wires nicely laid out over here. I've separated them. You're going to want all of your VGA wires. These are the VGA wires with two connectors on the end. So there's one that goes in the plug end of the power supply, and then the other two would go into the Antminer. These over here are just single run wires, and I'll explain why this is important a little later on. We've got our heavy duty power supply, and we've got our motherboard cable. So now what we're going to want to do is, first thing is first, we're going to want to take this little clip at the end, or you can always look up the paper clip trick if you don't have it, and we're going to plug this onto the end of this wire. And this would be a little easier if I didn't have to do it single-handedly. So I'm going to pause this again and start the setup. Okay, we plugged our little cap on the end now, so what this allows us, the power supply, to do is to run without a motherboard. It basically, you can just use it to power any device, i.e. the Antminer S9. That just plugs in right here. They are actually labeled, and it's the MB slot right there. Plug those in. Now we're going to come over here and we're going to get 1, 2, 3 of the single wires. Now the reason why I want one of the single wires is I'm going to take each one of these wires and I'm going to run one wire to one board to one side of each one of these. So this is going to be rail 1, rail 2, rail 3. Not sure if this is going to make a huge difference on this part of it or not, but this is my preference of how to set them up, and this is how I prefer to teach you guys how to do so. This is what I believe is the correct method. Alright, so I'm going to pause this again and go ahead and start that. Okay, so now we plugged each one into each side. As again, these have the 6-pin. Oops, let me focus. Here we go. So it goes to the 6. You have to put the 2 together to get the 8. We're only going to be using the 6-pin for the Antminer S7, so you don't have to worry about these for now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this single plug from this side and we're going to plug it in. Woohoo! Well, that was bad for the video, but everything will be okay because it fell on the cord and protected itself. So, you can't fake that kind of stuff, can you? Alright, well, I guess you could, but hey. Alright, so I'm going to lay this bad boy down for this right second. I'm going to take this other wire, bring it over here, plug it into this board. I like to click them, make sure everything's done. Oh, I forgot to mention the very most important thing, as soon as you get your Antminer, as you can read in the directions, they say make sure to check it for any loose heat sinks, because it will extremely damage the machine. So before you ever power it up, give it a light jiggle. There are going to be a little bit of noises on here that you'll notice. I can't really hold the phone and kind of do it at the same time. Like this right here, you'll notice moves. Each board so those are kind of the normal noises. If you start to hear anything other than that, or something rattling on the inside of it, more so than that, you may have a loose heat sink, and you may want to investigate it further and also contact your RMA, start the RMA process, or contact your customer service at Bitmain. Alright, so now we've got one to each one of these, and we'll pause the video one more time and plug in and get the other wires out. Okay, well, we're going to need 3 of the regular VGA wires, 3 sets of them. Come over here, and then I'm going to go ahead and pre-put these 3 in, and I'll get right back to you. It looks like a wire mess right now. Well, just so you guys can see, I plugged in the next 3 in the next row down, straight across. 1, 2, 3. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to plug these in. So now what I want to do is the first one, I want to plug that from the same rail, from the same side, from here down. I want to plug that in the same side. So we're going to use the 2 cables. There's one here and one here. Okay, that's all it is. Those 2 are hooked up. Let's get the next one, which is here. Okay. All right. Last one, guys, is right here. Make sure that they clip well. I'd like to check each individual one as I go. There we go. That one just clipped. All right. Let me step back just a little bit so you guys can see. Okay, so there we go. That's it, guys. Now I'm gonna pause this one more time and I'm gonna power up. Okay, so now I've laid it down. I've got everything a little bit easier kind of set up. Took the power cord, went ahead and plugged it in. It is off. Nothing is plugged in yet because there is one more cable that still has got to be plugged in, guys. We still have got to plug into the board, which is right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, I just plugged it into one of the 3 remaining ones on the top. I used one of the last single ones that was available. I'm going to take this over here. And plug it in. All right. All right. I don't have internet connected to it. I will have to go put it down to my hosting station, but for now we can turn it on. Let's see how it works. I've already seen, it sounds beefy. Well, again, I don't have any internet, so I don't really know exactly how far we're going to get with it right now. But it sounds really beefy, guys. So here's the conclusion to our powering up your Antminer S9 and a quick review. And I will update this video with the second part as I plug it in and actually get it tested with internet. See you guys.